American scientists just officially introduced the world's largest digital camera with a resolution of not 100 or 1000, but 3200 megapixels. And this is kept at the Menlo Park, California, USA, and is so powerful that it can capture a ball kept 15 miles away. Most experienced photographers would tell you that megapixels are not everything when it comes to capturing the best image, but they are extremely important to capture more detail. There are several factors like the size of sensor and the overall optics used which will contribute to the image quality. But when it comes to capturing the details of the outer space, you need to get it done with maximum resolution possible, and that's when megapixels matter a lot because we need to get the most detailed images of the outer space. But do we need 3200 megapixels to capture the cosmos? Well, that's what we find out in this video today, so keep watching till the end to know more. The interest in exploring the space that we know very little about is just going over the roof, all thanks to the space race between private companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin. This also got government-funded agencies like NASA to consider partnering up with these private companies to accomplish their goals for a fraction of the budget than what was originally intended, which is a great news for all space enthusiasts out there because learning about what lies beyond our planet might give us more insights to why and how we are here in the first place, and also to assess future threats that might wipe out life on our planet similar to what wiped out the dinosaurs. That's what makes space telescopes like the Hubble and James Webb Space Telescope exciting. But things are getting interesting with a new camera that can capture 3200 megapixel photos with 189 sensors, making this the world's largest digital camera ever to exist. To put things into perspective, to view this image you need 378 4K displays all at once, and the resolution is so high that you could see a golf ball from 15 miles away. This means that this particular device will soon drive unprecedented astrophysical research, which is nothing less than exciting. Engineers in the United States are finally about to finish what will be the world's biggest digital camera ever with 3200 megapixels. This camera has been unveiled by the U.S. Department of Energy's SLAC National Accelerator Laboratory. It will also help us analyze billions of galaxies that are totally alien to us. This camera is named after the American astronomer Vera Rubin, and the observatory is an astronomical observatory under construction in Chile, was previously referred to as the Large Synoptic Survey Telescope. The camera comes with a 1.5-meter lens, a 60-centimeter focal length, and an advanced cooling technology which cools down the camera to about -100 degrees Celsius to reduce noise during its operation. This particular camera is a technological marvel with a focal plane that is somewhat more sophisticated than your typical digital camera. It contains about 189 individual sensors or charge-coupled devices, each of which brings 16 megapixels to the table, which is somewhat a similar number to what we get with our modern-day smartphones. The focal plane has some extraordinary properties. Not only does it contain 3.2 billion pixels, these pixels are also extremely small, about 10 microns wide, and the focal plane itself is extremely flat, no more than 1/10 of the width of a human hair, which means you are looking at an incredible precision here. This allows the camera to produce extremely sharp images in very high resolution. With a width of more than 2 feet, the focal plane is enormous compared to the 1.5-inch wide imaging sensors of a full-frame consumer camera, as it is designed to capture a portion of the sky, about the size of 40 full moons. Sets of 9 charge-coupled devices were assembled into square units, known as science rafts, at the Department of Engineering's Brookhaven National Laboratory and shipped to Stanford Linear Accelerator Center. The camera team will then insert 21 of them, plus an additional 4 specialty rafts not used for imaging, into a grid that holds them in place. The rafts are extremely costly, $3 million a piece. Each raft is made up of 9 sensors that are capable of 16 megapixel image and the 4 corner wraps, enabling the telescope to focus and move with the Earth's rotation. It took more than 6 months just to install the sensors with a thickness of not more than 5 human hairs between them. These were built with extremely high precision because one small error during the construction would mean a major setback and a massive amount of money and several other resources. The completion of the focal plane earlier this year in 2021 concluded 6 nerve-wracking months for the SLAC crew that inserted the 25 rafts into their narrow slots in the grid. To maximize the imaging area, the gaps between sensors on neighboring rafts are less than 5 human hairs wide. Since the imaging sensors crack easily if they are in close contact, it was quite tricky to get the position right because the combination of high stakes and tight tolerance has made this project extremely challenging. But the team somehow managed to get things right. They already spent a year preparing for raft installation by installing numerous practice rafts that did not go into the final focal plane. This allowed the team to perfect the procedure of pulling each of the 2-foot-tall, 20-pound rafts into the grid using specialized gantry developed by SLAC's Travis Lange, a lead mechanical engineer on the raft installation. The sheer size of the industrial camera components is extremely impressive, and also the size of the team, so everything needs to be well planned to complete the focal plane assembly, and that in itself was a huge challenge for the team. Now, what exactly is the point of such a huge camera? Well, scientists say that with the help of this particular device, many mysteries hidden inside deep space will be revealed. New information related to dark matter and dark energy will also come out soon. The observatory director Stephen Kahn said that the camera is already a huge achievement. Changes visible in the sky can also be observed even at night. Apart from this, the camera will also be able to tell the number of stars and galaxies. Finally, imaging sensors will be able to spot objects about 100 million times dimmer than those visible to the naked eye. To put things into perspective, if your naked eye had this capability, it would let you see a candle from thousands of miles away. These unique features will enable the Rubin Observatory's ambitious science programs and will take it to a whole new level. Over the next 10 years, the camera will collect images of about 20 billion galaxies, and this data will improve our knowledge of how galaxies have evolved over time, and will also let us test our models of dark matter and dark energy more deeply and precisely than ever before. The observatory will also be a wonderful facility for a broad range of studies related to the cosmos, all the way from the detailed studies of our solar system to the studies of faraway distant objects towards the edge of the visible universe. The camera is now fully assembled and the lens is ready to go. The next stage in the process is to finish the setup of this gigapixel camera. Once it is ready, it will be shipped to an altitude of 8,700 feet at Passion, where observation conditions are optimal. Once when the camera is operational, the telescope will be able to capture a 3.5 section of the sky and will be able to take two back-to-back exposures, both roughly 15 seconds long during its service. It will cover over 90% of near-Earth objects that are more than 300 meters wide, plus a further 10,000 primitive objects in the Kuiper Belt, a donut-shaped ring of icy objects that acts as a fossil record for the entire solar system. Before transporting to Chile, updating the cooling technology will be the very last modification that will be made to the camera. For the next decade, the camera will be based in Chile at the Rubin Observatory, monitoring the southern sky by capturing some of the most beautiful panoramic images every few nights. The primary focus of this project has always been to learn more about dark energy and dark matter. Dark energy is the force believed to be accelerating the rate at which the universe is expanding, something we know very little about. Dark matter, on the other hand, is the material thought to make up about 85% of the entire cosmos. In theory, this should mean that the camera will be able to capture billions of galaxies with its 189 sensors over the course of the next decade. Ultimately, this camera is built to produce images of the highest resolution possible and also to pick up objects that are 100 million times dimmer than what we can see with our naked eye.